There have reportedly been tens of thousands of coronavirus cases at meat and poultry plants. One investigative nonprofit claims more than 44,000 workers nationwide have tested positive for the virus. Think about that number for a second. And then more than 200 have died. In late April, the president issued an executive order urging plants to stay open. Since then, CBS News has only been able to identify a couple of plants that were temporarily closed by government agencies. And one of those is in California's Merced County. Our consumer investigative correspondent, Anna Werner, went there to find out why. Anna, good morning to you. Can't wait to hear what you found out.
Good morning, Gayle. Thank you. You know, despite what it says was political pressure, this small county's health department did what most others have not, closed down a plant due to a COVID-19 outbreak that claimed some workers' lives.
He was in quarantine for 3 days when everything got worse.
Perla Mesa says her 61-year-old father, Filiberto, worked unloading trucks at the Foster Farms poultry plant in Livingston for years, until he came down with COVID-19. In August, he went to the hospital, then into a coma.
For 3 days, yeah. And I'm sorry.
He later died. Some 2,600 people work at the plant. Merced County public health officials declared an outbreak there in late June, and during a visit, recommended Foster Farms test all of its workers, says Department Director Rebecca Nanyanjo Kemp.
You need to conduct universal screening of all of your staff. You have way too many staff here to be able to control one factor. You're being controlled by the factors because you have so many people here.
You want to take control of the virus within your facility, is what you were saying to them. Don't let the virus basically take over here.
Don't let illness take over your facility. That is correct.
Did they say they were going to do it?
They did. Unfortunately, that did not materialize.
She says only limited testing occurred. In July, 2 workers died of COVID-19. The county continued to monitor the outbreak, and on August 7th, Foster Farms provided this list showing the number of workers actively infected and those whose cases they described as resolved.
They were giving us lists.
But County Health Officer Dr. Salvador Sandoval noticed the list contained no deaths, even though county health staff say workers had told them there were more. So the health department emailed Foster Farms to ask if there were any known deaths, and the next week received a new list. This time, Dr. Sandoval says, 5 names previously listed only as resolved were now listed as deaths.
They were put in a category that made it difficult for our investigators to tag them as being people who had died.
Who put them in that category?
The company.
What did you think of that?
Well, that's it's misleading, and I feel it's wrong.
In response, the company told us there was no intentional effort on the part of Foster Farms to deceive the Merced County Public Health Department, and they said all issues related to the reporting of data were quickly resolved. But now, with 8 deaths and over 350 confirmed cases, late in August, county health officials told Foster Farms the plant would have to be closed. That's when Nanyanjo Kemp says she suddenly found herself talking to federal agencies, with one, she says, mentioning the Defense Production Act, part of the president's executive order to keep plants running.
Was anybody suggesting to you that that was the case, that, look, you can't shut down this plant because?
Yes. I'll be forthcoming, yes.
From the federal government?
Correct. They were trying to intimidate. We refused to be intimidated. The whole idea of this is 8 people died. How many more need to die for this to be an issue? You know, for us, that was enough.
The USDA confirmed setting up a phone call with various federal and state agencies, but did not respond to our question of whether it pressured county health officials to keep the plant open. The plant was forced to close for a week, then reopened under county monitoring. Foster Farms says it's following public health officials' requirements and has now hit a testing benchmark of a less than 1% positivity rate among its workers, with what it says is now the most extensive testing program in California. And the company maintains employee health and welfare has always been Foster Farms' highest priority. But Perla Mesa doesn't agree. One of the 5 names revealed as deaths on that second list in August was her father's.
They don't care. I don't think they care. 8 deaths. 8.
The county says there's been another death linked to that outbreak, bringing the total number of workers in its county who died to 9. Now, while the county considers this outbreak to be resolved, the company's continuing to provide reports to the health authorities there. And Foster Farms told us it is putting in place other requirements that were mandated by the county, including hiring a licensed health professional to oversee its COVID-19 programs and providing one-on-one COVID-19 training now to its employees. Anthony?
Anna Werner with some very strong reporting there, Anna. Thank you. Wow, 9 deaths now, in fact, as Anna noted.
But really important that the health director, Rebecca Nyonjo-Kemp, I hope I'm saying your name correctly, is speaking up, because the point she made, how many deaths is enough? For us it was 8.
8 was enough.
And that's 7 too many.
Yeah.
That's 8 too many. 8 too many.